Hello, this is Dr. Tay, and today's topic is on the 72-hour fast, which is a good introduction to intermittent fasting. Now, I've been doing intermittent fasting around 2017, maybe 2016 area, and I got a lot of benefits out of it. And please consult your doctor before doing anything like a 72-hour fast. Great way to do it is start skipping breakfast first every meals and start pushing your lunch to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and you can do time restricted eating from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Ideally, you'll just eat in a very smaller window. And one of the benefits of doing uh, this type of lifestyle is that your body will produce more human growth hormones, and therefore you'll be able to maintain larger portions of muscle mass without having to exercise so much. And they discovered this when they were doing studies on rats where they did time restricted eating. So group A and group B of rats, they were fed the same amount of calories per day every day. However, group A had access to calories throughout the whole entire day. Sounds like Americans today, right? We have access to all this food throughout the whole entire day. We eat breakfast, second breakfast, snacks, lunch, uh, desserts, dinner, late snacks. We have all these access to food throughout the entire day. Group two of the rats were only fed in a smaller window, but the same amount of calories. And eventually, what they found was that even though both rats were eating the same amount of calories, the one that were fed in a time restricted eating had larger muscle mass. And this is not only true in rats, but also in people. And by committing into this lifestyle, people started noticing a lot of differences. But it all comes down to day one. You're going through let me show you this page, and now on the bottom, there we go. And day one, this is from drjockers.com on 3-day fast immune system. Day one, you're burning through your stored glycogen, which is in your liver. It usually runs out around noon, and then your low density lipoproteins will go off and hack off some fat from your leg or from your belly or wherever it is and bring it back for processing through the liver, and your liver is producing more ketones to convert these fats to cells into glucose, which is the currency of the brain. And what is not noted over here is that you start producing human growth hormones and your body becomes more and more optimized. And by day two, it resets the microbiome, because a lot of the things that is causing craving is the microbiome. And cellular autophagy begins to take place, which I'll talk about more in great detail. The rise in human growth hormones, which started occurring in day one, doesn't occur in day two. It starts actually in day one. Stem cells begin to rise, resets the DNA, and hormone optimization begins to occur. And on day three, this is where all the magic begins to happen, and where autophagy takes place. Autophagy means, auto means self, phagy means eating. So basically, it says it's self-eating. You are eating yourself. And this comes from one of the researchers named Dr. Anna Maria Cuervo from the Albert Einstein College of Medicine. She's a molecular biologist, and I think she's one of the top researchers on the topic of autophagy. And her lab rats that she was testing autophagy on, basically starving them but keeping them alive, started living longer and longer compared to other lab rats in her. And this sparked a lot of interest from Harvard. I believe in 2017, they launched their own study from Harvard. And what they found was that, one, Dr. Anna Maria Cuervo's research was spot on. And they found out that the mitochondrial network forms like a nematode worm structure where it becomes super efficient and remains at homeostatic balance. And this type of thing that was taking place was a coordination of mitochondrial coordination with peroxisomes. and the fatty acid oxidation that was occurring, which allowed them for a low energy condition to last for a very long period of time. In other words, is anti-aging is beginning to occur. And this 72-hour fast was supported by this study right here, the dietary restrictions of lifespan in the mitochondrial network using peroxisomes. And this is where it's beginning to take place. And this is how the mechanisms are beginning to occur, how your body is able to retain longer. And then all these studies started showing up on cancer because of the state of autophagy. And autophagy, what it's really doing is that your immune system is going around your body and starts putting biomarkers saying, hey, this red blood cell has an error on it. This liver cell has an error on it. This muscle cell has an error on it. And the more errors you have in your body, the faster you're aging. And let's say, you have 100% of cells in your body, and each finger is about 10%. So all of a sudden, as you turn a certain age, you have 10% of your body that has errors, and 90% is always making copies. And as you get older, you now have 20% of errors in the body. And as you get older, this is very depressing. You have 30% of cells always making errors in the body. And these errors makes you age faster and faster, having less energy in your organs. Therefore, your digestive system slows down and your bodily function begins to diminish. And what autophagy does, it puts biomarkers on a good chunk of these cells with errors and begins to break them down and reuse the parts to make new cells. And when the new cells are being made, chances are they're going to be made correctly. And therefore, you're now, instead of having 30% of cells in your body that has errors, you now only have 20. And this is what is slowing down the aging process. And what Dr. Ana Maria Cuervo's research also shows is that they found cancer cells in the body. Whether you like to hear this or not, everyone watching this right now has some sort of cancer cells in their body. Now, that may be very scary to you, but we all do. It's just that our immune system keeps it in check. Now, when you enter this extended period of fasting, when autophagy is beginning to occur, you are putting all these biomarkers on incorrect cells, including cancer cells. Cancer cells are mutated cells or cells with a lot of errors. And when your immune system starts attacking this, because it has the biomarker, the cancer cells begins to diminish. And this process was shown that it actually does work to treat cancer. And that's why in a lot of holistic circles, people are recommending for cancer patients to engage in time restricted eating, intermittent fasting, going these long bouts. And people started doing this, and they're seeing some sort of results, and this becomes their part of their lifestyle. And other studies have shown that when you compare, they took a sample size of, I think, close to 150 people, 141 for a period of 12 times, with 12 weeks. And they compared intermittent fasting, Mediterranean diet, paleo diet, and so forth. And in that 12-week time, what everybody lost on average is the intermittent fasting group, they lost about 8.8 pounds. And the Mediterranean diet, they lost 6.2 pounds. And the paleo diet, they lost about 4 pounds. So this kind of shows you that intermittent fasting allows your body to, one, have a faster weight loss, two, keep better muscle mass. And I think that's the crucial thing. It's not about the calorie intake. It's about time restricted eating that allows you to have more muscle mass, and therefore your metabolism is a lot higher. And I think this is kind of like proves that point. Now, today is March 9th, 2024. On March 18th, on a Monday, I'm going to come in here super early and take a snap photo of my weight, body fat percentage, water percentage, all of these things, and I'll put it into the following video that coming Saturday about my experience doing a 72-hour fast, what I felt, and I'll try to keep a simple journal about it. And hopefully, I'll lose, I don't know, at least 5, 6 pounds through the 3 day process. And and the way I'm going to do it is simply water, and I'm going to try to structure the water as much as I can. And I am going to add some sea salt, and I am going to add uh, some magnesium into the water. And I'm going to try my best to stay away from caffeine from black tea because that's what I have access to. I used to do it with a lot of coffee, but I'm going to try to do it just simply water. And if I can't, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not going to try to lie, and this is what I did. Uh, and one of the benefits from a emotional, one might say spiritual perspective, is that we are so controlled by the foods, and it's hard for us to say no to the foods. And engaging in intermittent fasting or a 72-hour fast from time to time gives us uh, spiritual strength to say no. I'm not going to eat these certain foods, and it gives you the power to say no when you're in social situations where people are indulging and stuff like that. You can take a back seat and say, you know what, I'm okay with that today. And one of the benefits I've seen doing stuff like this is mental clarity, because you're producing so much ketones and your body is more comfortable using your own fat cells to feed the brain. And once that pathway becomes direct, you have better mental clarity and mental sharpness. And that's one of the main things why I do this for. Number two, um, the spiritual toughness that I gain from doing things like this. Three, I got to set an example for my patients. Say, hey, not only am I recommending this to my patients, but I do this from time to time. And here, I now have some sort of way to share it with everybody without having to tell everybody. So I think this YouTube channel is great for that. All right, now having said all of this, please consult your doctor if you decide to do this. Do a lot of research, and don't just do a 72-hour fast. It may be a shock to the system. You might want to slowly ease into it, and first educate yourself as much as you can, and make a move from there. All right, stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll stay in touch. Take care. Bye bye.